Hello, Juan. Welcome to IOTA 3.0. First of all, I want to congratulate you on this new project you're having with ZeroSwapNFT. The truth is, the value proposition seems very interesting and is aligned with IOTA's vision of eliminating fees from the ecosystem, so congratulations on that. Apart from that, I have some questions and doubts that I've noticed in the comments, and who better than you, the CEO and creator of this upcoming DEX in the ecosystem, to help us and resolve those questions we have, right? So without further ado, I wanted to ask you the first question, which is basically to tell us who you are. Tell us a little about yourself and how the ZeroSwapNFT project came about. Hello, Ricardo. I'm Juan, the CEO of ZeroSwapNFT. I'm delighted to do this AMA with you, and, I'll tell you a little about myself. I've loved technology since I was a child. I practically grew up with a computer as far back as I can remember. My first computer was a Windows Millennium, so imagine that. I studied programming, and in 2016-2017, I came across Bitcoin. I loved the idea and its value proposition. I started learning more about the crypto world and came across Valdeande Mágico. I think everyone in the IOTA ecosystem should know him. He's a YouTuber who talks a lot about IOTA. I loved IOTA, the ability to send tokens in a decentralized way without paying fees, that it could integrate perfectly with the Internet of Things, machine to machine. It caught my attention, and I invested in IOTA because I thought it would be the future. And in fact, I still think it will be the future, a very near future. I invested when IOTA was at its all-time high of $5 in full FOMO when Microsoft announced, and when IOTA was the ternary system. And well, I've been holding until today because I fully trust IOTA. I'm sure that very soon we will see IOTA in the real world, even without knowing that we are using it. And well, about how ZeroSwapNFT came about. It was about a year ago while I was swapping a good amount of tokens on an exchange. They crushed me with fees, and I thought about creating value for the community. I've always wanted to contribute my bit to the IOTA community, empower the community with something good, with a product that I would like to use myself. So that's how ZeroSwapNFT was born. The project has been around for about a year, although we presented it recently. Throughout this year, we have worked on refining our vision and developing the necessary technical solutions to make our value proposition a reality. Great one. The vision you have with IOTA, I think, aligns with what we share and what we promote on this channel. Both myself and the community believe that technology can become a standard for the Internet of Things, machine to machine. And I think that has been the pillar by which I created. And obviously all the studies that have been carried out throughout this channel are aligned with the vision you have with IOTA, so great for that. On the other hand, I didn't understand or didn't know that the smart contract that you are currently laying the groundwork for the community, for the whole world, you had been developing it for a year, as you told me, and that seems very good to me because it's not an improvised project, which is what we often see in this ecosystem. We have really seen many improvised projects, and someone who has been building a smart contract for a year before introducing it to the whole world, because that's how projects work now, seems fantastic to me. And finally, the issue of fees. Indeed, I think every person who has used a DEX, a smart contract in DeFi, has encountered that little inconvenience, especially for those of us who are intraday. That is, those of us who are trading daily, have to pay that small commission, right? And now that's also what caught my attention about ZeroSwapNFT, the issue of eliminating commissions and allowing me to be an intraday operator while saving that cost, right? Saving that commission, saving that fee to obviously generate net profits in the ecosystem, right? So that's one of the value propositions that caught my attention, and congratulations also for that, and for the smart contract you are developing and the vision you have with the project, and also with IOTA technology, right? Well, the next question I wanted to ask you is, who makes up the team? Who is behind ZeroSwapNFT project? I would like you to clarify that doubt, that question we have. Let me tell you. After organizing the idea and putting it on paper, I needed the help of a team and initial funding. So that's when I looked for and contacted the other team members who are currently working hard during all these months and even more so now. They are part of the core team, and as you may have seen in the white paper, I can't share information due to privacy and security reasons. They are all professionals from head to toe, and you can see that if you follow the project. You will see that although we have presented ZeroSwapNFT to the community very recently, it is gaining good traction thanks to the excellent work of the team. To protect our investors and the community, we recently underwent a KYC process with the leading audit company in the IOTA community, Autotone, which works closely with Sooniverse. We have provided our personal information and identity documents so that while the team maintains privacy, we can provide transparency and security to the users of our community. Great one. The topic of Autotone seems quite good to me because I understand that it's an audit that has been in the market for some time. They are auditors who have been validating smart contracts in the ecosystem for a while. Not only has ZeroSwapNFT passed and is backed by them, but also other projects in the ecosystem. I also understand that you have to provide real information, real identity about yourself and the team so that the smart contract, the project, can take the next step and, above all, give that security or peace of mind to the community who are basically trusting in the project. So good for that, Juan, and congratulations on this. The next question I wanted to ask you is, what is the value proposition of ZeroSwapNFT? Please explain in detail, as specifically as possible, and how it integrates with the Shimmer ecosystem. Well, our value proposition is really exciting. We want to reach a broad audience beyond the IOTA community and offer a nearly feeless exchange experience. For the owners of our initial and limited 2,000 NFTs, we want them not to pay fees for exchanging tokens, and also to share 50% of the profits from ZeroSwapNFT. And well, this is something that hasn't been seen before in the market. For us, it's a unique value proposition. Okay, I understand, but how is this possible, Juan? How is this possible? The issue of fees, sharing 50% of the profits, this hasn't been done. I personally haven't seen this on any exchange to date, and I've been interacting with many smart contracts for about 1.5 to 2 years. Well, let me tell you that it is possible since we are developing it. It's just that no one has had this idea before or hasn't wanted to do it. The easiest and most profitable thing for exchanges is to keep 100% of the profits and then crunch the community with super high fees. And, well, we want to empower the IOTA and Shimmer community to be part of the DEX as initial investors. Regarding the integration with the Shimmer ecosystem, our platform will leverage the capabilities of Shimmer's consensus layer and its Ethereum virtual machine environment. By using Shimmer's technology, we will be able to offer our users a fast, secure exchange experience with very, very low fees. Well, yes, definitely. The issue of Shimmer, and now that we already have the virtual machine testnet up and running, undoubtedly benefits both the user experience and developers, not only those who are familiar with the ecosystem, but also other developers who have already created smart contracts on other networks and are now, thanks to the benefits that Shimmer and the virtual machine bring, migrating their projects to this new ecosystem. So yes, I know very well how Shimmer's consensus layer works, and also the potential that DeFi can have, inherently also the smart contracts that will be developed within it to provide a unique user experience and really very low fees. Alright, Juan, the fourth question I'd like you to answer is, how does the smart contract return the money to the first 300 Genesis NFTs? How is this possible? I saw this value proposition, and I'd like you to clarify this point quite a bit. Well, this was an idea we had to reward the early investors of ZeroSwapNFT. The refund will be made once the 2,000 NFTs are sold in their entirety. By then, we will have enough funding to be able to have this detail with the 300 Genesis NFT investors. We value our community very much, and they always come first. Without a community, there is no growth and no business, right? So we take great care of our community and want the best for our community. That's why we always will reward the first ones who will trust us. At this point, I want to highlight two things you just mentioned that seem very important to me. The first is the issue of the community. Without communities, there is no growth, you just mentioned, and indeed, without communities, there is no growth. But above all, the project one is developing must be legitimate. It must be transparent, and that's what we as investors are looking for. And that's why, obviously, the initial support as well, because this has to be reciprocal. I think it's very good. The first 300 investors who bet on the project, it seems fair that they can be rewarded with the initial investment. So, the risk-reward that we are always looking for in any investment practically becomes null, zero risk, but exponential benefit. And when all of this is sold, the 2,000 NFTs, considering the value proposition of zero fees and also the disbursement of the initial investment, I have no doubt that the 2,000 NFTs, which seem few to me, will be sold in their entirety. So good for that. This point seems quite clear to me. And the fifth question I'd like to ask you is, when will the exchange be operational? Well, we are currently developing several proof-of-concept tests with a PancakeSwap fork, and we have chosen PancakeSwap as the base since it is a project strongly supported by Binance and has undergone many significant audits. And well, based on this code, we are modifying and creating new smart contracts to adapt it to our value proposition. Currently, we are conducting internal tests on the L2 of Shimmer Ethereum virtual machine. And as soon as we have a minimum viable product, we will share it with our entire community, and it will be open source, and anyone can view the code on GitHub. And to answer your question, the funding from the sale of the NFTs will help us speed up the development process by expanding the team, so we hope to have it as soon as possible. Yes, in fact, I think that's the way projects are developed now, right? You were talking to me about a PancakeSwap fork concept, that you were taking PancakeSwap's smart contract and adapting it to the value proposition you have, to then obviously perform internal tests on the L2 of Shimmer Ethereum virtual machine, right? I think several projects that are already being developed in the ecosystem, in Touchpoint exactly, are following the line you just mentioned. And on the other hand, regarding the funding from the sale of the NFTs, it will help, you mentioned, to speed up the development process, and I think that's the most logical. The first financing from the community helps you and those behind the project to strengthen the smart contract, provide more support, more funding, and more output to the project in terms of marketing, development, and progress. And obviously, this is like an initial sale. I understand that this is how you are currently developing it with low resources, but providing a good project, good service. So, if the value proposition really takes root in the ecosystem, I am sure that the smart contract and especially the development you will have after the initial sale will be astonishing. So good for that, Juan. The next question I'd like to ask you is, how do you address the issue of security? Specifically, I am referring to audits on your platform. I would like you to clarify that for us, please. Although we have not yet undergone any external security audits, we follow strict internal security practices and rigorous testing to ensure the integrity of our platform at all stages of development. When we have the first release candidate for the final version, we will conduct several security audits with leading audit firms to ensure that our community is safe and protected. These audits are expensive, but thanks to the funding from the NFTs, we will be able to afford them without any problems. All right, great, Juan. This part is quite clear to me, the issue of audits with serious companies. Obviously, they are expensive, not cheap. So, as I mentioned in the previous question, the initial funding is important to provide a good product before putting it into practice for the entire community. Before launching it to the entire community, go through rigorous external audit tests, and this, well, you state that it will be carried out after the first funding. Initially, obviously, we are talking about the Genesis NFTs, which are the first 300. And that will give you a first funding, as I mentioned in the previous question, to give the project more robustness and more security to the community, which in this case is the first pillar, or the most important pillar, so to speak, in this project. Not only in this one, but I think in any project. Juan, the next question I want to ask you is, what type of tokens will be able to be traded on ZeroSwapNFT? I would like you to please clarify this for me. The most important tokens in the Shimmer ecosystem will be available for trading, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Wrapped, USDT, USDC, as well as other ecosystem tokens. We will list them. There will also be liquidity pools like other DEXs, and users will be able to provide liquidity. Later on, we also plan to create a token launch service so that new tokens from emerging projects can be listed directly on our own platform, with which our NFT holders will again be rewarded with airdrops of these new tokens. Alright, the main cryptocurrencies and tokens being available on your platform is excellent. We're talking about Bitcoin, meaning that it can be exchanged for Ethereum, IOTA, or stablecoins, which is great. On the other hand, I understand the yield farming aspect well. We're not just talking about DeFi, we're talking about liquidity pools, an essential pillar for any smart contract in the DeFi ecosystem. Also, the fact that token holders add tokens from the community and NFT holders are rewarded with airdrops of these new tokens is a value proposition I wasn't aware of until now. And I think it's great that you're rewarding with initial launches and airdrops of new tokens on the ZeroSwapNFT platform, so good job on that. We have the main market coins that will be traded with zero fees on ZeroSwap, as well as airdrops rewarding NFT holders and liquidity pools. For those who love DeFi and smart contracts and liquidity pools, I think it will be a great opportunity to do so with ZeroSwapNFT. Great. Now the eighth question, let me ask you. What are the main challenges ZeroSwap faces, and how do you plan to address them? I'm sure you've done a SWOT analysis, and I'd like you to please share it with me. One of the main challenges ZeroSwapNFT faces is adoption and growth in a highly competitive decentralized exchange market. To address this challenge, we will focus on offering a unique and attractive product that benefits our users and the IOTA and Shimmer community in general. By eliminating exchange fees and sharing the profits with NFT owners and significantly reducing fees for non-NFT owners, we believe ZeroSwapNFT will stand out from the competition and attract a broad audience. Yes, Juan, when you mention competitiveness and adoption and growth, let me pause there for a moment. I think this issue is solved with a simple, user-friendly product for those interacting with the smart contract. I know many people who would love to do DeFi, but the platforms are so complicated that they think it's a scam or that they'll make a mistake and lose all their money. So, I think this adoption and growth in this market are achieved primarily with the simplest possible product and a user-friendly interface. We look forward to that from ZeroSwap. And now that you're adding an exchange where users don't have to pay fees and will also receive the previously mentioned benefits, I think it will undoubtedly stand out against other platforms being built in parallel. Much of the community knows that several DEXs are being built, and ZeroSwapNFT is one of them. But as I mentioned, a user-friendly interface, NFT benefits, and the value proposition you bring to the DEX and smart contract will place it among the top in the IOTA and Shimmer ecosystem. So good job, Juan. It seems pretty clear and concise what you've just mentioned. We're almost done with this questionnaire, and the next question I wanted to ask is, what marketing strategies are you implementing for ZeroSwapNFT? I'd appreciate it if you could share some information about that. Well, we're putting a lot of effort into social media and content marketing. We're active on social media platforms like Twitter, Discord, and Medium, where we share news, updates, and educational content about ZeroSwapNFT. And, well, we also plan to publish articles and blogs related to the platform and the industry in general to keep our community informed and attract new users. We've created a rewards program on Zeely, the former Crew 3, where our community is very active, and right now anyone who joins can opt for an airdrop for the future Zero token, 10 standard NFTs, and an OG Shimmer NFT. And, well, these initiatives help incentivize participation in our community and promote interest in ZeroSwapNFT. Also today, we're doing the AMA with you, with questions and concerns from the community. And these events allow our community to ask questions, gain valuable information, and connect with us as well. And we're also looking for strategic partnerships with other projects in the crypto space, especially those related to the IOTA and Shimmer ecosystem. These collaborations can create synergies and increase the visibility of ZeroSwapNFT. And, well, a few days ago, for example, we made a partnership with Nebula Tangle. Yes, before I forget, I thought the collaboration with Nebula Tangle was very important because it's a project I'm also participating in, not publicly, but personally, as a personal investment. I think the project behind Nebula Tangle is very good, and that also pushed me to pay attention to what you're doing. On the other hand, the issue of social media and the rewards program you're doing on Discord. I also want to invite all the participants, friends, and the entire community to participate for prizes such as Shimmer tokens and standard NFTs, as well as future airdrops of the Zero token. I think it's great that you're incentivizing early participants to adopt and use ZeroSwapNFT for yield farming and token exchange, among other benefits we've already discussed. I also think it's great that you're present on Discord, Twitter, and other media, and that you're going to develop articles and blogs. Education is an important pillar that you should also consider in this project, especially in the interface and how to navigate within it. So congratulations, really, for what you're doing and for having a clear vision at this point. The 10th question, my friend, that I want to ask you is, why are you associated with Nebula Tangle? What caught your attention? Tell me a little bit, because I know very well the value proposition of Nebula Tangle and what plans you have with them. Allow me to be a little nosy with this question, but I had to ask, what future plans do you have with Nebula Tangle? The truth is that Nebula Tangle has been behind the design of our Genesis and standard NFTs. We've forged very good friendship ties, and now we're going to do a joint collaboration to promote the Shimmer ecosystem. We've created NFTs that we're going to sell for 1 Shimmer, and we've developed a step-by-step guide so that anyone outside the IOTA Shimmer ecosystem can learn to create a Shimmer wallet and buy an NFT on Sooniverse. This partnership will benefit both us and the Shimmer and IOTA ecosystem. These are the kinds of partnerships we're looking for, right? Win-win. And I encourage projects that think we can collaborate well to get in touch with us. That's great, Juan. In fact, the Nebula Tangle team has some of the top NFTs in the market, and the fact that they have collaborated with you or have already been behind the design of the NFTs and also the standards of ZeroSwapNFT is something I really applaud. I also applaud the vision you had to partner with someone who already has experience in the ecosystem, and above all, what you mentioned. Besides providing more education, what you just told me, and teaching people who are not from the ecosystem how to create a Shimmer wallet, buy NFTs, and use them in their browser. This really gives you credit as a CEO and also shows me that you are interested in educating the community. So well done for that, and congratulations to our friends at Nebula Tangle for collaborating with projects that are new to the market. Well then, Juan, the last question I would like to ask you is, how is ZeroSwapNFT addressing community concerns, and what advice would the team give to new users and investors interested in joining the platform and community? At ZeroSwapNFT, we take our community's concerns very seriously and actively work to address them. We maintain open and transparent communication with our users through our social media channels, Twitter, and Discord. And, well, we listen to their feedback and suggestions and implement improvements based on their needs. For those interested in joining our platform and community, we invite them to explore our value proposition, read our white paper, which we are gradually improving, and also invite the community to join our communities on Discord, Twitter, and Medium. Always research and consider one's own financial circumstances before investing in crypto assets. And, well, we are excited about the future of ZeroSwapNFT and hope that the IOTA and Shimmer community who watch this AMA will join us on this exciting journey. That's great, Juan. I found it very concise and professional of you to have accepted this AMA and addressed some questions we had from the community following the first video we made on the channel. I think the vision you have aligns with the vision we have here on the channel and on the various social media platforms where we are also interacting, so congratulations on that. I truly wish you good luck on this new project you are embarking on, and I hope that people who have just watched this AMA find that their doubts have been cleared up. If so, I think we have fulfilled our mission to inform and educate the community and friends who trust us. So, without further ado, I say goodbye. My name is Ricardo Asto. Thank you very much, Juan, for the time you've taken to address these doubts and questions, and I'll see you next time.